correct me if I'm wrong, Ron Niemi, but what we're about to see right now in our main event is the longest running current feud in IPW. It's been going on for months. These guys came down here as tag team partners almost a year ago as Mind and Matter, but right now they've been tearing each other apart for months. In the ring is Juan DeSanto, and making his way out very shortly, you all know, Dr.
Heresey is one of the most over wrestlers on the roster. I don't know how he does it. He has only been in IPW for, I think, about a year now, and the loyal fan following he's got in this war with his former partner is unbelievable.
It's a little bit because the fans really love him, Dr. Heresey, and there you see, they're dancing with his music out there at ringside. And I tell you what, Ron, I don't know if it's just so much that they really love him, which they obviously do, or if it's a combination of that and their absolute hatred for the lesser evil, Juan DeSanto.
And they just like to dance.
Yes, they do. Our fans love to dance, a la Jet Jaguar or Skandar Akbar.
Here's a huge reverse elbow by Dr. Heresey, who's also going to be at the WrestlePlex with Juan DeSanto. Hopefully this brutal and violent feud is going to end on February 8th. I don't know if they're going to be wrestling each other because Juan DeSanto hasn't signed the rematch yet. He's not a coward. He's not scared. He just hasn't recovered from the last battle.
Okay, we don't know if they're going to be wrestling each other or what's going to be going on, but if these two guys are in the arena, there's going to be some mayhem going on. As a tag team, they show what they can do, and now feuding with each other, they show that not only can they tear it apart in the ring, but they can get the fans solidly behind this feud as well. A leading contender for last year's Feud of the Year. I tell you, I'm almost a leading contender this year already, the way these two have been going at it.
Now, you can call the Florida WrestlePlex at 727-526.
Oh, knocks him right out of the ring, Ron. Sorry to interrupt the phone number there.
727-526-6778 for ticket information. And also, if you want to train to be a professional wrestler, just like Dr. Heresey and Juan DeSanto, you call the WrestlePlex, you tell them when you want to come down, sign on the dotted line, and you start training with the best of the best.
The best of the best right here at the Florida WrestlePlex. If you've ever wanted to have your training by the top wrestlers in Florida, this is the place to come do it.
Dr. Heresey has got more huge DDT bulldog-type driving your head into the mat maneuvers of any wrestler that I have ever seen. It's amazing how he can take a simple side headlock, look like he's about to just basically work the guy into the corner, and then drive him headfirst into the mat. But Dr. Juan DeSanto, he's not finished.
Oh,
Maybe
nice
he is.
reversal, almost into a Russian leg sweep. But this is what happens when tag team partners, guys that know each other, go at it. You practice these moves with each other that you're going to do with other people, and when you go to do it to your former partner, he's going to remember.
Now, a lot of these people might not be quite as familiar with this feud.
Oh,
huge
nice sit-out
powerbomb.
power bomb.
Now, a lot of the people at home might not be familiar with this feud as much as we are, Aaron, but if they go to IPW-hardcore.com, they can read all about Juan DeSanto, they can read about that ridiculous referee sporting the mullet, Richie Rich, and they can read about Dr. Heresey, and they can also order tickets via PayPal through IPW-hardcore.com.
All right, let's not forget while we're at it, you can also check out IPW history on Pro Wrestling Daily. That's all one word, .com.
Juan DeSanto levels Dr. Heresey with a huge boot to the face. And is it me, Aaron, or is the mullet given awfully slow counts for Dr. Juan DeSanto?
Well, fans who remember this feud know that Richie Rich has been involved in a few of these matches, and Juan DeSanto kind of taking advantage, thinking he can intimidate Richie Rich, but when you've got the horde of ring rats at ringside, there's no intimidation there for Richie Rich.
It's not just at ringside.
Oh, and here's what we're talking about.
You can't call that fair. You can't call it. Now, Star Stevens is in the back saying, now you gotta call it down the middle, Richie Rich. Wow.
Yeah, nice savate kick right to the face of Dr. Heresey. And if he'd laid on top of him there a little bit quicker, he might have gotten the 3 count. 1, 2. No, not quite. Richie Rich, I tell you what, that wasn't quite as slow. Seems like maybe he's having a little bit of trouble. Oh, and what is this? He's slapping the referee. That's real professional. Oh, my goodness, look at this. Richie Rich with some Mike Sullivan-like chops right to the chest of Juan DeSanto.
And a huge pop from the crowd after he
Oh!
Huge punch right to the gut. He gets punched right in his face.
And Star Stevens had to be enjoying every last minute of that.
Yeah, Star Stevens claims to call it right down the
Oh, chair shot right to the back. And that hurts, Ron Niemi, as I'm sure we can both tell people from experience.
It hurts a lot to be hit in the back with, as Jim Ross says, a steel chair.
A steel chair. It sounds like he's John Houseman or something there as he's calling that match. And once again, if Juan DeSanto would just go for the pinfall, Well, then again, maybe he wouldn't have got the pinfall because Richie Rich is sitting in the corner looking like he just had some funny from Rastaman out there, like Jim Bragg always looks, a little bit lost and disheveled, and he's not counting the pinfall for Juan DeSanto.
There's starting to be a lot of heat, a lot of bad blood between referee, the mullet, Richie Rich. And you talked about all of his rats at ringside. You ever go to Extra Innings Ballpark Cafe down on 1850 Central Avenue?
Once or twice.
He's got more rats hanging around there as I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my hot, spicy chicken wings with the cheese and the delicious beer products.
All right, Ron Niemi, we all know about their barbecue or their blackened wings. You talk about it each and every week. And what in the world was that maneuver?
That was the DeSanto chin drop.
I've heard of the DeSanto chin drop, and I heard it was devastating, but not until I saw it did I realize just how much.
No, he drags Dr. Heresey across the ring like a sack of potatoes and lays him in the middle of the ring.
And speaking of sack of potatoes, looking at this guy getting up on the top turnbuckle there, if he connects, it's going to be, he connected with something, but I don't think it was his intended target.
That's got to hurt the groinal cavity.
I tell you what, the theme for this week's show should be shots to the McGroin, because that's about all we've had in every single match. And this, I saw that coming, Ron Niemi.
Wow, he hits him with 2 punches to the midsection and throws him off like a bad habit. And then he scales not so delicately up to the top rope and comes...
Oh!
Where the hell was he diving? He missed him by 10 feet, Aaron Royal.
Yes, he did, but I guess when you've got that much weight behind you and you're listening to the match, sometimes you get a little bit excited and overshoot your target. We've seen that happen with several people with their top rope maneuvers. A top rope maneuver, if executed properly, can turn a match around, but as you can see, if it's not executed properly, oh my goodness, I can't even call these moves, Ron Niemi.
I can't call them either. You talk about these huge miss moves from the top rope. You talk about pulling a match out of nowhere by hitting it from the top rope. You look at someone like Naftali, who overshot his opponent a few weeks ago by so much that he actually splattered into that back wall underneath the UPN sign. It was a horrible sight.
That's almost as bad as when he had to jump the counter at Burger King, but we've talked about that before, and I understand there's a lawsuit still pending. So right now, let's just talk about this brutal feud going on in the ring. And what's he got go? Oh, almost tried a pancake maneuver there. Okay, these guys have almost as many reversals going on as an AJ Styles Scoot Andrews match. It shows you don't have to be at the top of the card to put on a great match here at IPW Weekly Recap.
Now this feud is taking their toll on them. Beautiful move by Dr. Heresey. That's got to be it. Come on, Mullet, get down there.
No.
See, he seems to be counting faster for Dr. Heresey. But like I was saying...
I didn't see that at all.
You didn't see anything. You're always going for the heel or the baby face or somebody. You've always got some type of favorite. Yeah. I, on the other hand, call it like I see it, my friend. Yeah,
you sure do. You call the briefcase slipped out of my hands, and I didn't know what was going on, but what's going on right here is that pancake maneuver I was talking about. I understand he calls that the DeSanto shuffle as he just laid him out, and if he can get over there and pin him, it's going to be over. Oh, I got to admit, Ron Niemi, a bit of a slow count there by Richie Rich.
Richie Rich is definitely no Dick Worley when it comes to counting a count. He's no Tommy Young, and he's not even, what's his name that used to be in the Hart Foundation? I can't remember.
Danny Davis. Actually, he was counting there more like Bronco Lubitsch.
He was a Bronco Lubitsch type counter. And the truth is, whoa! See, now he's taking matters into his own head.
What in the world is that?
You got a referee.
Ring rat stunner.
That's got to be it.
1, 2, 3. That is it, Ron Niemi. And I don't understand exactly why Richie Rich thought he could do that and get away with it. But Dr. Heresey gets the win. And look at these fans going crazy for Richie Rich. It's not just his rats. It's everybody.
The fans pop huge. Biggest pop in the entire show is for the referee, the Mullet.
And here goes the dancing again. And Ron, they dance nearly as good as you, my friend.
No, you're getting carried away.
Well, we always get carried away here in Weekly Recap, especially seeing that maneuver from Richie Rich. He's leaving ringside to the adoration of all the fans. They hate this guy. What's going on?
I don't know, but on February 8th, Valentine's Vengeance, Mr. Peskin and his newly acquired army, they got to deal with 911 Incorporated. They got to deal with the rest of IPW Hardcore Wrestling. And by the looks of things with our referees, they got to deal with the Mullets.
I tell you what, Shannon Rose got so excited, he said he may just do the Geek's Elbow on somebody next show.
The Mullet comes in, he's trying to make up for things. He's trying to make friends, he's trying to make up for... No, he's
another one! Fans, we